So I'm going to refer now to some things that Jay has posted at Time to Win, theTimeToWin.com. And this is a fantastic download. I highly recommend it. Go
Thank you.
grab it. It's not even gated, Jay. You just put it out there.
Nah, I'm in the post-gating phase of my life.
Me too.
You
Yeah.
know, I'm
I
just
was
like,
actually never
whatever,
a gator. Yeah.
You know, I shouldn't
No,
say
that
that.
wasn't
For this, I do gate my stuff for tequila because I'm trying to actively build an email list to sell you tequila eventually. So, you know.
good. Good for you. I'm happy to go through that gate. I was never a gator hater, but I've done research on that actually, and users don't hate gates as much as marketers do, ironically. Separate.
Yeah.
Coming back. Okay, so Jay's got a download for you. I'm talking to you as a listener. Jay's got a download for you, and what it's got in here is a lot of research on how speed correlates with business outcomes, price sensitivity, and loyalty, and
Attitudinal, everything.
Attitudinal, yeah. So I'm going to cite one thing, and Chris, this relates to our earlier conversation about why people link to things. This is a fantastic case in point example. I love that we're having this conversation now because the psychology of a backlinker and the reason why people cite things is this. This is prime example. 47% of customers will not tolerate a wait for assistance of more than 3 minutes in a store. That is a link-worthy soundbite that checks all the boxes. Everyone, this is what we were just talking. This is that conversation about linking. But what a nugget! Half of us. That's a time. You put a time on it, right? It's 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like now we know. So thank you for that.
Yeah, it is remarkable, and we found so many interesting things in this research. I mean, I've talked about speed in every book I've ever written, but this is definitely the deepest dive I've ever done because I really do think it is the core competitive advantage now. But there was some crazy stuff we found, like the one that probably shocked me the most, which is also a good soundbite, is that Generation Z, the youngest consumers, are the most patient generation, which did not match up with my expectations before I launched the research because I've got 2 Gen Zs in my family, and the adjective that I use is not typically they're so patient, right? It's just, they grew up with phones and Snapchat and texting and whatever, and you just don't assign those qualities to those young consumers. But the data show very clearly that they have more patience for business delay, and the least patient generation, boomers. Now, is that because boomers have less time left? I don't know. Mathematically it checked out, but I don't know if that is in fact the reason. I should have asked.
That's funny.
Yeah, you don't need to survey how much time do you have left. I mean,
no, it's hard. It's difficult to structure that questionnaire that way.
Yeah.
But it is really fascinating. But the implication for business, I think, is pretty clear. I have worked with a lot of clients in my day, and I'm sure you guys have as well, that purposely address an older customer group, right? They're in healthcare or end of life care or insurance or whatever the business is, right? And so their core consumer is 55 plus, 60 plus, 70 plus in some cases. And so I have literally been in conference rooms in my life where those executives say, well, we don't have to be as rapid with our customer care programs because, these folks are 72, like they're fine to wait a while. And it turns out the exact opposite is the case, right? That actually these older consumers are like, I want it right now because, I got nothing else to do. So I'm going to focus on this. So it's just interesting. Sometimes all the chestnuts that we believe to be true in business end up not being true at all.
I got 2 comments about that. The first one is my last job I ever had before I started this agency. I used to work for the Vanguard Group, working the phone.
Yep.
And literally you would be on the phone taking retirement center calls, and then there would be this clock above and it would be called the queue. And it's literally how long is the average person waiting on the phone. And once it reached a certain level, they had this thing that's called Swiss Army, where literally employees that were doing normal desk jobs would run and they would go to the phone because the queue was literally that important. And, they would even make a big PR thing where they'd literally have John Brennan, the CEO, the president of Vanguard, on Swiss Army.
Calls.
Yeah, exactly. Like, cool, but come on. But what's funny though, and this was taught to me by my supervisor, is he was like, 3 minutes to you when you look up at that thing is like, oh, it's only 3 minutes. 3 minutes to them is, I can't believe I have to wait 3 minutes.
Yep.
And they press the reset clock for every single call, every single evaluation of marketing. They could say, I'm at 3 minutes at Vanguard, but if I'm 3 minutes at the supermarket, I'm equally as mad. It's like it's always a reset button.
Absolutely.
And so,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why the one of the things we found in the research is that the setting of expectations is really critical as well. So yes, for sure, you should be faster in most cases, but it's actually more important to be faster than expectations rather than just raw speed. Because if somebody knows it's going to be 3 minutes and it is 3 minutes, they're okay with it. But if they don't know how long it's going to be, and it's 3 minutes, then it seems interminable, right? So it's having a frame of reference. Like, you ever see those billboards? A lot of big cities have it for the emergency room, and it's like digital board, like 17-minute waiting. It's like if you got stabbed, it's going to be 17 minutes, right? Or like been stabbed, 17 minutes, or whatever the story is. That's really, really smart, right? Because you've got this setting of the expectations. There's an example I use in my presentation from this company called Zek, which is a B2B software firm. They actually help boards of directors manage the boards of directors stuff more efficiently. And their contact us form on their website says, get a demo of Zek, whatever. And then it says underneath the submit button, we'll be in touch quickly, maybe faster than Usain Bolt. And it's like, bro, if you're going to name check the fastest man in the world, famous Jamaican Olympic sprinting champion Usain Bolt, my expectations now for response time on this autoresponder or whatever it's going to be is very, very high indeed, right? So just giving people a sense of what they're getting into is actually one of the best ways to change the perception of speed, which is actually more important than actual speed.
Yeah, I've recommended 100 times that people add below a call to action, we'll be in touch usually within 24 hours, or we'll be in touch within 1 business day. Put that by the button. This is like a CTA conversion lift best practice. Doesn't work every time, but it's like Ollie Gardner used to call it the kicker.
Yep.
Put that right under the button to tell people how soon you'll be back in touch, because a lot of people just have anxiety about whether or not anyone will get in touch.
Oh, absolutely.
Filling out contact forms, by the way, like that fails the ChatGPT conversation we just had about the responsiveness of bots.
Yep.
That fails everything you recommended here or the implicit recommendations that come out of your research. But that one, if you can just tell people, it just builds confidence in clicking that, right? Like, they're committed to a response time.
I would say that kicker should be changed, though, because this will blow you away. 27% of consumers expect a response to a contact us form within 4 hours.
And
most businesses do not turn contact us forms in 4 hours, but here's why. There's this belief in business that well, if you're using a contact us form, like how urgent could it be? Because they could have called, they could have used a chat, they could have texted us, they could have emailed, they could have hit us on Twitter. Like, they had all these other options that are ostensibly more urgent inherently. So if they're using contact us, it's probably not that important, but that's not really true. There are certainly circumstances where people use contact us because they happen to be on a laptop and they don't have their phone nearby, or they just like it better, or whatever, right? So we make these assumptions about response time based on channel choice, and I think a lot of those assumptions are flawed. And so, yes, 75% of consumers expect to hear back from you via phone within 4 hours. But still, almost 3 in 10 expect a reply within 4 hours to a contact us form, and most businesses don't have that in their SLA even close.
Oh, that sounds like an opportunity to me.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. That's a great tip. Think about that. If you can do it. So this is a stretch. I'm going to push the listener right now out of their comfort zone. Go for it. Try it. Test it for a week. Put that on your contact form. I will personally contact you within 4 hours.
Yep.
They will close the tab after filling out your form. They're not going to hit the back button. They're not going back to Google. They're not going to fill out anyone else's form.
Because they're going to wait
They're going
for
to
4 hours.
pause their search. They're going to wait. Yeah, I think 4 hours is actually, it's not unreasonable today.
No, you're not like, there's no way they can do that, right? You're not setting yourself up for where they're like, wait, well, this has got to be a bot then, or something. Yeah.
Next time you talk to me, I will have tested this.
Good, and please let me know. Always look for case studies.
Well, it depends when I see you next, because and let me set your expectation about timing right now. We're redesigning our site later this year, and so
at this point,
I just added that to the list of things that I want to test on our new.
I love it. I love it. Can I give you one of my favorite recommendations out of this research?
I would be thrilled.
is to offer a fast pass.
Wow.
1 in 4 customers will pay as much as 50% more to not have to wait. So not all of your customers will want this, but those who do want this will want it massively. Okay. There are fast passes around us, right? Like, so TSA Pre is a fast pass.
Yep.
You pay more, wait less. Going to the ATM is a fast pass, right? ATM fee, you get your money now. You don't have to go wait in line, whatever. But every business should offer this. I don't care if you're a divorce attorney or a web developer or a digital agency or a chiropractor. It doesn't matter. Everybody should offer a fast pass because it is free money. So I was at Caesar's Palace like 3 weeks ago doing a gig, and I go to check in. And it's like
I'm picturing Magic Show right now.
Yeah, exactly. It was like 2:30, right? So I get to the front desk, and I knew it was going to happen because I've been there before, and it's Vegas. And so they always say, "Oh, Mr. Bear, welcome. It's 2:30. As you know, check-in time was 4 p.m. Come back to the front desk at 4, and we'll try to give you some keys." This time, they said the same thing. "Oh, Mr. Bear, welcome back. It's 2:30, 4 o'clock, your keys." However, if you'd like to give us another $30 right now, we'll give you keys right now. And I'm fresh off a transcontinental flight, and I'm like, here's my money. So they used to be a client at Caesars, and so I called a buddy there, and we did some analysis, and he talked to some of his people. So rough estimate, based on the number of check-ins they have, the average length of stay, and the uptake rate on this offer, on what we believe to be approximately $1.8 million in 2023 alone, pure profit, just for giving people keys that they already had.
Yeah.
So
early check-in.
So in your business, like, okay, you want a website? Great. You want to be next in line? Okay, it's 50% more for the website, but we'll do yours next. And every business can do this. The only thing it doesn't even cost you anything to do it. The only thing you got to figure out is how to massage the people that you bump down in line. That's it. And if you can't do that, you shouldn't run a business anyway.
Well, Jay, by the time you paid $30 to Caesars, that was probably your 4th fast pass that day because your driving app, your rideshare app had that.
Yeah.
TSA Pre, or if you use Clear,
Yep.
that was fast pass. Priority boarding, when you got on the plane,
Yep.
that's a fast pass option, right?
Yep.
It's now that you mention it, I'm going to notice this everywhere.
Yeah, it really is amazing, and it's really untapped in a lot of ways, and it shouldn't be.
Paid Chat GPT.
Yeah,
Precisely.
exactly.
Precisely.
That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what that is.
Move your query to the top of the stack.
There's no other features. I think that's the only difference, right?
Yeah, I think it's never down, and you can always,
Yeah.
you can always get in, right? Which is really pretty amazing.